All right, hopefully we are live. I'm going to check this out here in just a second, but we're going to be doing some really cool things here for the launch of the brand new Elegoo Phecda. We'll get that naming, how to pronounce it correctly here shortly. Let me just confirm that we are indeed live and streaming here. So give me uno momento. Por favor. You'd think by now I'd know what the heck I'm doing when it comes to live streaming. I think we are live and up and running. And hopefully the quality is not too bad here. It's not looking great on my end from what I'm seeing here. Man, this looks like it's some super pixelated live streaming goodness here coming straight from the camera. Yeah, my video is lagging. Perfect. Just what we wanted. So is the audio lagging from the video? Let me know what you guys are seeing here. You're a little dark. Thank you. Let me see if I can calibrate that here. Thank you. Thank you. And kind of fuzzy. Is it? All right. Let's see. The audio's clear. Thank you. That's good. I do have a microphone for once hooked up to this, so turn on more lights might help. Yeah, agree. Actually, hold on. Let me see this. Probably going to be blown out here. Holy cow. I need good thing I'm going to be wearing these shades the whole time here. So let's see. There is no audio delay there. Great, great. Hi everyone, welcome. I'm already rocking these glasses here. All right, we're going to be doing the live, go live for Elegoo and their new Phecda. Eventually I'll get the pronunciation of this correct here. But this is their brand new laser engraver / cutter here that we're going to be checking out. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of different tests with this along with you guys here over the course of the live stream. And we're also going to be giving away some of these machines that you could potentially win throughout this live stream leading into the launch of their Kickstarter campaign for this new laser engraver here. So this is going to be really fun. Yeah, so there's a half-second delay. Okay. I'm not the best when it comes to live streaming, as you can clearly see here. Yeah, I'm hoping that the update here, let me go into settings, stream service. I don't think I can adjust anything while it's live, but we'll see here. We'll see how this goes. Hi. So this is a really fun one here. This is the first time. Let me just reiterate and stress this. This is my first time working with a laser engraver of any kind. So this is a really fun little treat for myself, a learning experience for myself. I have to say, overall, it's been fairly easy getting this going. It's definitely a little bit different than working with a 3D printer, that's for sure. So there was a little bit of a learning tree there, I guess you could say. And I'm using Lightburn for almost all of the projects that I'm doing today with you all. There is another free software that you can use along with this as well. I know so many people in the community have already been asking about, is Lightburn supported? And yes indeed it is. And I have to say that software is pretty fantastic with the capabilities that's in it, and I feel like I've only barely scratched the surface of it. I'm also wearing a jacket because it's pretty cold in here because I have windows open, I have fans running. When we're going to be doing some of the laser engraving, this thing produces some smoke, and I want to make sure that I have as much ventilation as possible throughout this process with you all. There is a built-in fan with this to help mitigate some of that, but it's definitely best to be working in any sort of well-ventilated area when operating with one of these here. And I'm, again, not claiming to be an expert by any means. Again, just barely know what the heck I'm doing with these things. So I'm sure there'll be lots of comments and call-outs on these as well. So let me jump in here, and I have to say, we will be doing a giveaway here in the first few minutes of this. So very excited about it. So let me get this just very quickly here. I thought I had a knife. Here we go. I wanted to open this up and share it with you guys and see what you would be seeing if you were opening this up for yourself. By the way, there is a link down in the description below for the actual Kickstarter campaign once that goes live in about an hour's time. And speaking of, in the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to be posting a link, or hopefully someone from the wonderful Elegoo team is in the chat and will also be providing, oh, there's my other knife, a link to the actual giveaway, but I'll be posting a link to that here as well. So opening this up with you guys, as you guys know, Elegoo just does an amazing job with their packaging and all of their materials, with how this is going to be nicely padded and put together. By the way, this is pretty, the box in general is not that heavy, and once you get everything assembled as well, it's not that heavy, but you'll see here everything is extremely well packaged and put together. I will have to say the assembly process took me probably a little longer than a normal person, but it's because I was recording a video along with it. I think it was about 30 minutes or so, but it's because I'm changing camera angles and talking while I'm doing that. But I think for the most part, you should be able to get this thing assembled in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. Let me move some of the parts down here. But you'll see that we also have some other materials. There's a full-on detailed instruction manual that I used. I walked through and used the same manual to do the assembly process here. Everything's pretty clearly labeled and put together, laid out for us to work with for the actual process. It does come with some test materials as well that I'll be cutting on in today. I keep wanting to say it's a video, but it's obviously this is a live stream, people. Hi everyone. Yeah, I believe Hansi, there is going to be information on the retail pricing after the Kickstarter on the actual Kickstarter when that goes live. But I think I have some of that information and we'll be able to share it with you all. But today I'm going to be actually showing you guys engraving on a bunch of different things. I have some basswood, I think is what it was called, here that yeah, so this is, yeah, basswood, just some thin wood that I'll be engraving and cutting here on a bunch of different examples. This is what I've been mostly working with because it's, I think, what I'm mostly interested in doing. I'll also be doing a little test engraving on the piece of leather that came with the package there. It does come with a small piece of that wood that you can engrave and cut out, as well as this little metal dog tag type thing here, a little keychain thing. So I'll be showing how you can laser engrave on the metal piece as well. But hey, thanks, Solaris. Appreciate it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I do not do a lot of live streaming, so this is always fun for me. I keep saying I'm gonna do more live streaming, but it's one of these things, it's like, man, super stressful. Leading right up to this, I was texting with Andrew Sink. I was like, man, I can't get OBS. Is it working? I don't know what I'm going to do. I needed to update. And it's, yeah, I got everything sorted here. But I definitely need to still work on, like, picture quality. I need to get a second camera set up here. This is the only camera angle you guys are going to see unless I walk over there and walk this around. I was also trying to do the fancy thing where I can connect my iPhone to my MacBook and then use that as a secondary camera. It was not working. It was just beautiful things, beautiful things. But what works really well, did you see how that, like, segmentation? It's the laser engraver. The setup process, again, is really straightforward and simple. The one that I'm going to be showing you guys today is the 10 watt. They also have a 20 watt option that's going to be available in the Kickstarter campaign as well. And very excited again about these giveaways that I'm going to be doing, because there is a lot of cool things that we are going to be giving away with today's live stream. So cool. So cool. So this will all be leading up to their official go live here in about 50 minutes over on Kickstarter for the actual campaign here. And again, I know, by the way, your call, I'm sure in the comments, I can't read the comments, but some of you were like, hey, why Kickstarter? Elegoo, why Kickstarter with this? Well, I had the exact same call out, so that was that was my exact same call out as well. But from their standpoint, again, it's one of these things. It's a new endeavor for them. It's not another 3D printer or resin 3D printer. This is something that they're just sort of feeling to see how the market would react, and before going into full production swing mode on mass producing these things here. So I have a beta early production unit here that I'm going to be walking through and showing with you guys. So by the way, yeah, throughout this entire thing, when I'm doing any of the laser engraving, you get these fancy spectacles that I'll be wearing throughout most of this live stream here. So this is be a really fun-filled thing. I need something for the hair though, is what I really need. Maybe if this came with hair product would be great. One other thing I'm pulling out here that's right at the top, that's one of the big standouts I think for this that comes with it, is this built-in air filter system. So that's going to go right on top of the laser diode system there. So as it's engraving or cutting and it's producing some of the fumes, it's sucking that up into this this box here that's got some filters built directly into it here that you can very easily get access to swapping out and changing out when you need to change them out. But it's just some additional filtration that's going to be going on while you're working with this. So here, I'm going to take this actually down off the desk, because what I want to do next is I'm going to actually bring up the actual engraver. But before I do that, let me get the first giveaway going here. And you know what would have been handy is if I actually copied the giveaway links. Here we go. So here's for the first giveaway. Hopefully I can do something like this and pin this, pin message. There we go. So there is a link to Gleam.io where we're going to be giving away one of these laser engravers. So I'll let this run for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes here. Let you guys jump in there and click on that link, sign up, do all the WYSIWYGing that you need to do to get in there. And we're going to be giving away one of these to one of you lucky folks here watching the live stream. And it's open internationally here, not just to the folks in the US. If by chance you are not in one of the regions that Elegoo actually ships to, they will credit you via PayPal with the amount for the giveaway item that you end up winning, which is pretty cool. So we are going to be doing a giveaway for one of these, and again, we're going to be doing more of these giveaways throughout the live stream. So always love when Elegoo comes through and sponsors one of these, because it's always lots of goodies for me to give away to all of you out there. So let me actually bring this big boy up here. So I'm cheating a little bit. We were going to initially do a live stream unboxing and setup of all of this, but I'd rather just get right to this and show you it actually in action, because I think that's what most people are probably interested in. It's not the assembly process, which again, it's probably like 15 minutes. It's just a few bolts that you're going to end up putting together. It's there's a few frame parts there. You got a pulley that you're going to install, and that's it. You got some connection points there, like on your 3D printer when installing an FDM 3D printer. And that's more or less how it goes. And then here up top, again, apologies, I don't have multiple camera angles here with this. But yeah, and sorry, you can enter multiple ways, so don't be overwhelmed. Like I just saw someone say, "There's 1,000 people that have already entered." Well, it could be that they've entered in and gotten multiple entry points by doing different options that are available in that. But so here is the Phecda. If anybody in the chat knows how to properly pronounce that, let me know. But what's pretty cool about this is, again, on top here is the laser filtration air filter system there that you can, if you wanted to change this out, you can pop off the top, and then you get access to that little replacement box there that you can swap in and out on this thing itself. Let me put that back on here. There is also on the front a magnetically attached panel there. I lost, hopefully the camera's still going here. My feed dropped on my end, so I can't see what you guys are seeing, so I'm gonna have to rely on the live here. Give me 2 seconds just to double check this. All right, so it is still up. It was just my camera. Of course, again, I don't live stream, so I forgot to change the monitor so it doesn't go to sleep after it thinks that it's not being actively used. So that's why, what's going on here? And I do see it's doing some face tracking, which is great as well. Oh, I said it correctly. Thank you, Silver Bear. Thank you, thank you. So hopefully I said Phecda. It's Phecda fun when you do this. But there is a acrylic panel there on the front to help protect with some of the laser pew-pew-ness that's going on. There are also feet razors for this as well that you can screw on, and it's got little rubber stops on the bottom, or rubber bottoms. So if you wanted to make this shorter, if you were going to be engraving on a really, fairly flat surface, you don't need to have the leg risers on there. But I am, because I'm also, since I'm going to be doing some cutting, I am going to be using one of these fancy mesh boards here that has like an aluminum top underneath it, so I don't actually end up engraving into my tabletop there. One other option that I saw people on the lines using was just a piece of MDF as well. So obviously not going to be as good as something metallic there for the laser goodness. Again, I don't know all the details with all this stuff here. Anthony, please, hey, everybody watching, please, you don't have to donate anything, please. Just enjoy the show. Just enjoy the chaos that is this live stream here. So I don't need any of this because we're not going to be doing on the unboxing here. I'm just trying to keep my workspace a little bit clean. But I do have some materials here that came with the unit that we can play around with. Before I get into actually engraving anything, let's get this thing powered on. So there is a plug in the front here. There is also a micro USB on the front side, so if you wanted to save, I think it's G-code files directly from something like Lightburn and put it on the machine, you can do that versus having it directly connected to the computer. This should work with both a Mac or PC as well. I am going to be running this all from my PC laptop here, just because you know what I love about Windows? Automatic updates. Give me a minute here. It's I'm just loading back into everything. Not that you're going to be able to see my screen, but I need access to it. So here we also have a cable that can go directly, a USB cable from your computer that will plug directly into the laser engraver, and then you can power on the machine. The laser engraver also has Wi-Fi capabilities as well. So there is a mobile app that I'll be showing off later in the live stream. Yeah, so I'll be showing that off later in the live stream here. Sorry. So this is the machine itself. So again, I do not know next to anything, and this is going to be also equally fun, is me using this backwards while I'm live streaming with you guys. So adding a whole nother layer of complexity to things. So again, laser engravers, 3D printers, I know inside and out. I'm extremely comfortable with working with. But a laser engraver, I'm not sure. So from some of the basic things that I've seen on other YouTube channels about this, is having the machine in the front left position is helpful when it comes to aligning your parts. Again, I don't really know the ins and outs of Lightburn, so I'm sure there's other ways to mitigate all of that depending on where your tool head is exactly positioned here. But that's typically where I'm going to like to start things. I have the Gleam link still running here, and I think I want to go in and draw the winner before I do anything fun and fancy on this. And actually, I'm just going to kill that so it's not too loud for you guys. Let me come in here for 2 seconds. And let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just making sure that I have something set up here correctly. Of course, I don't have that set up correctly. Let me do this. Save that. Okay. That is good. That is good. Sorry. Just getting a note that the link in the video wasn't working. So that's great. So I got that going. I don't know why. All right. So, yeah. Sorry. Making sure that you guys can actually get to the campaign when it loads properly. So that should be updated. And we'll also drop a link here in the chat. Yeah. Okay. So let's do one of these giveaways real quick. So here, let's see. So let me refresh this. Oh man, hold on. How do I? Can I do this? Can I do this from this? Hi. Okay, let me see if I can do this correctly. No. Nope. Okay. So I was trying to share my screen so that I could actually draw the winners with you guys. All right. I'm going to try and... I'm nervous to move my setup around because inevitably I will break something here. So I'm going to... Okay. So here, let me do this as well. So, see, I start moving stuff around and it immediately goes, the process just goes crazy. So here, I'm going to draw a winner. Let me just double check that we are, in fact, still, yeah, I think we're still up. Okay, I'm going to draw the winner. Draw the winner. We have a, I'm going to cover up the, Claudio Oliveira is the winner of the first one here. So congrats to that person on winning the first of the giveaways here in the stream. Again, we'll be doing some more of these throughout the stream. So we have some big prize packages that we are going to be giving away as part of this. So this is going to be a fun-filled, hour or so that we're going to be running through with all this. So let's see if this is this is still working. So by the way, if you end up winning and it's not one of these where you have to be here live in the chat, we have your contact information. So I'll more than likely be reaching out to you and reminding you to contact Elegoo about your giveaway winning. So that's congrats. So let us see here. Oh my goodness. So by the way, one thing that I need to figure out with the live streams is like a better way to manage the chat, because it's craziness. Okay, so let's actually do something cool here with the laser engraver. So let's see. So we are going to actually be etching some stuff here. You'll see that I have been cutting away at some things over the past while playing around with this. And let me do one of these things here. Let me do one of these. Let me move up here. You guys won't be able to hear me, but I wanted to be able to. Now hopefully my camera goes back to focusing on me and not that. Yeah, there it goes. So I just want to show you guys an example of something that I had previously cut out, and I think we'll do something similar here in just a second here. So I've got the base wood there, and let's power this guy on. And again, I am going to be using Lightburn for all of the tests that I'm going to be working with here. Let me open up a file. You'd think at this point I'd be like ready to rock and roll with all this. Most importantly, so safety when it comes to using the laser engravers is pretty dang important. So yeah, this is, hey Jessy, can you activate slow mode on chat? If I knew how to, I would, but I don't know how to do it. Also, I think my camera's going to freak out that I have sunglasses on and it can't see my eyeballs, so we'll see how this goes. You know what I should probably do is just auto-lock the focus on my camera. Give me 1 second here, people, because that would probably make the most logical sense, is to attempt to do that before we get started with all of this here. Okay. You guys are probably going to kill me as well. Sorry. I don't think you can hear me. So I just tried to lock the focus because I'm going to wear glasses and I don't want this thing wigging out on you guys. But yeah, I've got some base wood here. This is just a piece of strip that I picked up from one of the local arts and crafts stores. I'm going to stick this here inside this, and let's do something fun with this. So again, going to be using Lightburn. Lightburn, you don't have to use Lightburn. You can use the free software that I offhand can't remember the name. Hopefully Elegoo's in the chat here and will know the name of that software. But the Lightburn, it seems to be the most popular out there, so that's the one I've been focusing on working with, since I think that's the one that you guys are going to want to be working with this as well. Just really capable. I can go in there and easily define different properties and work with those and settings for the lasers and speeds, and actually get to actually cutting something here, which I promise we will do. But again, safety when it comes to this, I wanted to just mention. So throughout this entire process, you're going to want to be wearing your safety glasses here. The kit here comes with a set. I'm more than likely going to be looking into buying an additional set of glasses here that, I'm not entirely versed in all of this, but I'm going to be looking into what other options we have for eye protection just to be as safe as possible with this. I'm wearing a jacket right now because it's absolutely freezing in my studio because I have multiple windows open. I have a box fan up and running. I have an air filter system up and running. Over here, I've got the overhead fans in the studio running to try and get as much air pumping out of this as possible. This is not the same spot that I'm going to be working with this machine. I have a dedicated area that's much smaller directly next to a window that I'm going to be able to hopefully vent directly out of the building here. but this machine does have a filtration system on the top that you can enable directly through Lightburn, I believe, as well, or through the touchscreen interface down here, which is, again, fun for me to work. There we go. So I just kicked that on. There's a touchscreen interface here to control the machine, so if you needed to position it or anything like that, you can do that through the touchscreen interface. For the most part, I have been working directly in Lightburn, and it's been working really well. So here I've got a project that we're going to be attempting to cut out here using my logo. Again, I think that's like sort of the go-to that everybody does. If you have a logo or some sort of saying or something like a family crest or something like that, you might want to just start with something basic like that. So here I'm going to double check to see that I've got this all framed up correctly. And of course, the printer is not connecting. Okay. Brian Vines, man. Yeah, I'm not going to be looking at the laser with my naked eye, obviously. But stop donating money, man. Save your money. Invest in the pew pew laser goodness here. All right, so I think it's now connected. I needed to hit the connect button, so let me just double check this. All right, so it's moving here. I, of course, did not do this correctly. I'm going to turn this off, do this. Again, I'm very new to this, so apologies, but I like to go straight to the corner here, get this thing all lined up, and then hopefully Lightburn recognizes that after I power it on so that I can center focus this thing here. And if not, I'll just manually tweak it to be the way. Yeah, this one right here, so there's two options with the wattage of the Phecda here. So there's a 10 watt that I'm using in all the examples today, and then there is a 20 watt option as well. Sorry, the other thing that I was going to mention was that why I was going to be looking into some other options here is I talk a lot and I get hot a lot, so these are fogging up on me, so that's good. Oh, it is moving incredibly. All right, so I've got it about where I need it to. I'm going to adjust this so I'm not cutting in the middle of the wood. And apologies, you guys can't see. You guys can't see what this is doing, so let me move this down just a little bit. I'm just repositioning these just to give you guys a reference of what I'm doing. Perfect. Okay, let's let this thing rip. So I've got this now engraving, and hopefully it's also going to cut out this object here. I believe this is going to be a quick 6-minute project here on the Phecda. As you can see here, I'm going to try and not talk for a second. This thing is really quiet. I mean, the only thing that I hear is this fan, the box fan on top, sucking. There's fans on the diode as well to help try and, I believe, adjust the airflow towards this box here up top, the receptacle that's going to help filter out the smoke that this is producing. So again, really important to make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated area. Again, this is not my normal space. I would not recommend this like in your bedroom or anything like that necessarily. So they will also have some additional add-ons. Oh no, is it working? Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, it is working. I was just making sure that my stream here was working. They are going to have some additional add-ons as well once the Kickstarter goes live. So that'll be really cool to see what other options are available besides just the 10 watt and the 20 watt option that are available there. I also mentioned that there is Wi-Fi on this as well, so it's kind of fun to be able to quickly, if you wanted to go on your phone and take a picture from your directly from your phone and transfer that over into the laser engraver and start a project directly from your phone. That was really straightforward and simple. So we'll try that out here, assuming that my network isn't going to interfere and hate me too much. Yeah, how's the any smell? Yeah, I mean, anytime that I believe you're going to be doing any sort of laser engraving or cutting, there's probably going to be a smell with this. This just smells like wood. Like, it almost smells like I'm just doing woodworking here in the studio. It's not too overly strong, and this just works really well. It's pretty quick. It's again, I am 33% of the way through this project, and it's just sort of pew-pewing its way through this here. Yes, the air assist, I think, is going to be one of the add-on options for this. Is there a 3D printer being given away as well? No, that's a great question. We don't have any 3D printers that we're giving away today, but we are going to be giving away a bunch of these bad boys here, which is fun-filled funness. So, the Kickstarter itself is starting in 25 minutes. There should be a pinned link. Let me get rid of this pinned link, unpin, because that giveaway is done. But I will pin the Kickstarter link here. We'll pin that so that you can get to that, and if you wanted to check out the Kickstarter campaign, you can definitely do that. What can you do with the 20 watt versus the 10 watt? That's a great question. More or less, you should be able to do the same thing. The 20 watt should allow you to cut through thicker materials, I believe. Again, I am a extreme novice when it comes to these things. So when I get my hands on the 20 watt diode there, I will for sure be doing some follow-ups, just an example of what that can do over the 10 watt. And again, I believe it's just the power. It's going to have a little bit more power to it, obviously, and allow you to cut through more materials. It might allow you to do some of the engravings faster, potentially. Again, not entirely too sure. I'm sure there are a ton of people here in the comments that have had experience with this. Yeah, there you go. Carson, thanks. Yeah, the 20 watt will open up the materials that you can engrave and work with. So that makes a lot of sense. And yes, the giveaways are available worldwide. Is the wood clamped down? No. And thank you for reminding me. I got some blue painter's tape to tape the wood down and completely forgot to do that while I was talking with you guys here. So hopefully I don't knock into anything with this. I should also mention that what was really cool about this laser diode that Elegoo has on theirs is, I believe one of the key aspects of setting up any job is measuring the distance of the laser tip itself to the object that you're about to engrave. So it's at a constant distance, something along those lines. Elegoo has a retractable magnetic little stand that flips down that allows you to precisely get to the top of the material that you're about to engrave so that it's at the proper height. You don't have to go in with a ruler and measure things out to make sure that it's however many millimeters away from the object. This just sort of takes care of it for you, which is nice. So this job is 92% done. There's about another minute left to go on this, and I will show you guys the results. I believe the last step that this is going to take is just going around the perimeter of the object here and cutting that out for me, which is nice. So it's not only doing the engraving and etching into the wood, but also actually cutting that out. And speaking of, one thing that I'm really excited about that I don't have my hands on, Elegoo, when it's ready, send it to me so I can test this out, because that's what I'm really excited about. Is they have a, I believe it's like an option. I don't know what the term is. I should probably know what the terms are for these things. But it's going to allow me to take round objects like this coffee mug here, my Yeti coffee mug, and I can then etch into this, which would be awesome, absolutely awesome. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about checking out with this. I have been wanting to dive into this for a while now, and I'm very excited that Elegoo's producing one of these so I can actually get hands-on and test this out. Oh, here we go, and the job just finished. And that popped right on out. So this was my logo here. Let me, again, I'm gonna walk this up to the camera. Hopefully you guys can hear me when I'm over there. So let me move this around just so I can try and adjust this so you can see. Oh my God, the lighting here. But yeah, there's the, I'm going to try and talk a little louder, but there's the logo that I just cut out for me out of the basswood as I'm dropping it on the ground. Yeah, there we go. Let me focus this back up. Hopefully, okay. So this was a really, like, just a, again, that was like 6 minutes, I think, of etching and cutting out there. This is, how thick was this? This is, it's 1.6 millimeters, I believe, thick basswood. Which, by the way, I've never even heard of basswood until I started looking into this whole thing. So I was like, oh, I didn't know there was I thought this was just like craft wood was the term. I don't know. But yeah, we can continue to etch on this, which I'll be doing here in just a few minutes. You can, again, work with different materials as well. So Elegoo, I'm going to try, let's see if we can do this here. There's, again, about 20 minutes or so before the Kickstarter starts, and let's see if we can actually etch on this small piece of leather. So I'm going to try and get this on. At some point here, I got to do a lot more diving into how to properly align and pinpoint things here, but it's always fun to try and get an object centered on this. Change of budget, would you be made by? Sure, let's save those. So let me pop these back on. So again, I'm going to be trying to etch directly into a small piece of leather that came with this. Balsa wood, basswood. Is that the same thing? Balsa wood, basswood. Is that the same thing? I don't know. The pricing. Actually, sorry. That would be helpful if you guys knew some of the basic information about the machine for the pricing of this. So I believe Elegoo has mentioned that previously, but the base pricing or the Kickstarter pricing is going to be starting at, for the 10-watt laser, $239.99. They're going to have some different special offers for that for the 10-watt, and then the 20-watt is starting at $399.99. So just at $400 for the 20-watt. And again, there's going to be multiple configuration options for each of those with different add-ons that you can add on to this as well throughout the Kickstarter campaign. So that is, again, very, very cool. How many printers do I have? That's not something that we talk about, man. That's not cool. That's like politics, religion. How many printers do you have? We don't talk about that. Is my wife watching this live stream? Yeah, we don't watch. We don't talk about how many 3D printers I have. And now, laser engravers. This is it's a downward spiral here. Can you do any metal? Yes, and in fact, before I try and cut on the laser, on the metal, on the leather. There was a comment here, can you engrave on metal? And yes, you can. And it came with, like, I don't have a lot of examples of this. I'm mostly just using the wood because that's, at the moment, what's kind of the easiest for me to work with and quickest. So things like this that we'll be cutting out. But let me come up here and show you guys, before we start on the next project, just engraving on metal. So here's a little baby Yoda. Oh my God, my focus here. Focus, people, focus. Yeah, so it is able to etch into metal. This was a slight etching into metal. It seems like it takes a little bit longer, so that's why I'm not doing it on the stream itself. This was like a 15-minute etching, I believe it was, on this piece right here. Let us focus, buddy. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. All right, so yes, it can match on metal, and one thing that I wanted to shoot. Do I have it here as an example? There's like an amazing content creator here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Above Long Art, who does lots of resin 3D printing of his Oni masks. So he uses Nomad Sculpt, awesome, and makes his own Oni masks, awesome, and creates a whole bunch of different varieties of those, and then resin prints them. And I attempted to do what he did, which was laser etch. He laser etched his logo into one of his build plates for his resin 3D printers. So I tried to do that. Again, I think I've got to dial in the settings a little bit more to get this properly done. Or maybe I just need to do more passes. I still am learning. Again, you can laser etch something, and then you can set how many passes you want to go over it. So 1 pass, 2 pass, 5 passes over it. And the more you do, the more it's going to etch into that object. So I only did 1 pass on this, and you can like just barely see. I'll try to get a close-up of it. But you can just barely see it. So I think I need to do more passes on this to get it properly etched into place. But it's such a cool idea that there's no way I'm not going to be... You'll definitely be seeing more of this. So etching into my resin 3D printers. Drop that over there. All right, some other basic information here. I should probably have mentioned that the engraving cutting area of the Phecda here is 400 millimeters by 400, so it's a fairly large engraving surface. I do have some larger pieces of wood that I want to be doing. It's much thinner. I should say it's thicker than this, so maybe twice as thick as the balsa wood that I have here. So I'll be able to see if I can etch through that. If not, I might have to cut it out. But I definitely have some wall art that I want to go through, some larger wall art, and actually engrave and cut out, which could be really fun to see. Oh no, is it too... Yeah, if I turn on the light in here, it's like, it just blows it all out. I've got all these overhead lights that are just nasty. Yeah, it does. Todd 636. Yes, there is software that comes with the Phecda. It's a free software here, and apologies. I am trying to remember what the software is called. I think it's. Is it? Yeah, it's Laser Gerbl. Laser GRBL is the software that is the free software that you can use with this if you don't want to use Lightburn. It worked okay. Like it was fine. It's just not, there's not as many functions as the Lightburn software had. And I'm using the 30-day free trial, and I've got to figure out what the pricing. I think it was like $60 for the license for that, which isn't too bad depending on how much stuff you're going to be engraving here. So again, I'm going to try and engrave into this little piece of leather just so that we can see that. So here I'm going to get this thing positioned, and let's frame it up. Let me move this over. Move it over more. Okay. All right, I think that's relatively centered. I'd probably want to do a better job of trying to center this if it was something that I really care about here. So let me just see how long this takes. This is like a 1 minute job, by the way. So I'm about to slice into this. So here we go, starting on this project. Again, fairly quiet. Should take about 1 minute to etch into the leather there. It's, again, when it goes into the different materials that you're going to be etching into, you have the ability to go faster and change the wattage of the laser there. So whether it's 100%, 80%, 50%, 10%, whatever it might be, depending on the different desired results for the object that you're engraving or trying to cut out. So this is just going to be a really quick one, though, with the laser. Yeah, this is the one that I'm working with, again, is the 10-watt machine. Once they have a 20-watt diode available, I'll be doing a follow-up and doing a video. I'm also in the process of making a full-on video for this. So if you missed the live stream or don't feel like you want to sit through the whole live stream and want to see more on it, I should have this up here in the next few days. So this just finished. And I can't remember who was saying, hey, did you pin that down? No, I didn't. I forgot to tape this down as well. But it worked really well. It didn't like move it or blow it out of the way or anything. So let me jump up here and show you guys this, which is cool. The lifespan of the laser. Funjacker Jones. I don't know the lifespan of the laser. Maybe Elegoo, who's in the chat, can jump in about commenting on what the typical lifespan is of the laser diodes. That's a very good question, and no idea whatsoever. Again, this is my first time working with these, but of course I had to do something YouTuber-ish, and I put some text of subscribe into the leather there. Oh, you know what I could do is bump that up a little bit. That's really cool how easily that just etched right into the leather. So one thing that I'm interested in is Drake and Raven. There's going to be some more giveaways here. In fact, the Kickstarter is going to be starting here in the next, looks like 8 minutes, and I will have another giveaway shortly after that campaign starts. So actually, let's do this now. So I know you guys are going to be busy with the campaign and checking that out once it goes live. But let's get the second giveaway up and running so that you guys can... Uh-oh. Well, that's good. I'm connected to the internet, which is good. I am getting a big fat error message. Give me 1 minute. All right, so this is going to work. There we go. I'm going to update this. I'm going to unpin this, and let's get the new giveaway link added here. And then I'm going to pin this up top. So I'm going to let this pin this up here. So let's start the second giveaway here. We won't do the drawing until, like, I don't know, for another 20 minutes or so. And in the meantime, you can check out the Kickstarter campaign that's going live here in 5 minutes. There's a link in the description down below in the video to where you can go and check that out. For more information on all of the Kickstarter goodness here. But with this second giveaway, we are going to be giving away 3 of the 20-watt engravers the Phecda 20-watt engraver units here to 3 lucky winners. So 1 each to 3 lucky winners. They're not 3 to 3 people. So hopefully you guys are able to get in there, and that's not throwing an error. And let's see. There we go. There's Gleam is working. Oh, Zebra, thank you. Yeah, this is again, I love trying out new things, so this has been a whole learning experience for me. I'm excited to make some more content with you guys on this. I am selfishly wanting to learn how I can start making stuff that I can start better selling for some of the things that I'm 3D printing. So to give you guys an example, because I know a lot of you probably are watching this, already have 3D printers and are 3D printing, and maybe this is potentially going to be your first laser engraver, and you're thinking, what kind of projects can I do with this? So the things that I'm interested in is signage. So as I'm making and selling things, can I create signage that goes along with it that I can help elevate my listings over some of the other people's that are just selling 3D printed objects? Or I have a big interest in collectible figures, like action figures, sideshow, hot toys, the big figurines there. Actually, hold on. Like this Mondo Wolverine figure that I picked up recently. You guys wonder what I do with, Elegoo's, helps sponsoring the channel, and they're like, hey, what are you spending your money on? Yeah, it's toys. It's toys. But how can I make, stands or backdrops with the laser engraver for some of these things? That's what I'm getting really excited about. So I have some displays that I'm looking to get set up here that I can have some different backdrops set up for this. I know Norm over at Tested, I think a handful of months ago, was using a laser engraver to etch out paneling for a Star Wars themed wall panel. So it was very techie looking, Star Wars-ish, with the cut out circular panels, and I think you put LEDs behind them. So you could, in theory, 3D print that, but it would be much cleaner and easier to do something like that on a laser engraver and cutter. And just want to remind everybody, the Kickstarter the campaign is starting in 3 minutes here, technically 2 minutes now, maybe even less. And man, why is the picture so blown out here? Ooh, man. Apologies on the picture quality on this, just is not great. I'm not sure what is going on. Yeah, so what are some of the Wondercat? Thank you, but stop donating to these people. You don't need to do that. Just save the money. Go buy something cool. Go get yourself a laser engraver. Let me see here. Yeah, the settings that I've been using are all sort of varied. I've been playing around with a bunch of different settings. I also found a handful of settings online that I've been using that have seemed to have worked really well. I'll definitely be sharing more info on that when I make my full video. So if you wanted to download those and check those out when you get this engraver, you can definitely do that as well. So just working with a bunch of different materials, like the logo here. Like this is this one cut out so cleanly, and my first attempt was sort of a little bit more of a burnt edge around the end. So just a matter of adjusting some of the settings on that, to whether it's the power or the speed at which it's passing, just to adjust that the output of that. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe you're right. Maybe it's the autofocus is off. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? That's hopefully this goes back into being in focus. The thickness, give me 1 second here. That's all going to be on the over in the Kickstarter. We'll have some of the details, but the engraving depth for the 10 watt is up to 8 millimeters, and for the 20 watt is up to 14 millimeters thick. For your so that was the engraving. Is that, I'm not sure, is that going to be different than the cutting as well? And by the way, the Kickstarter is live. So here is, oh no, hold on. So yeah, so let me do this. I'm gonna swap that over. That's a great point. So here is I'm gonna put that in the chat again. I'm gonna pin this for a minute so that you can more easily get to the Kickstarter campaign. I'm pinning that up top here for another minute or two, and then I'll pick it back over to the giveaway. We'll let that giveaway link run for just a little bit as well. So don't worry if you haven't got to that yet. It would be great if on YouTube I could have multiple pinned messages. Yeah, so the Kickstarter is live, and which is pinned in the chat there. So that is cool. I got a nice little headband with these goggles as well. So let me refresh just so I can also see the campaign is live. So yeah, man, Elegoo, you guys have done some really nice looking materials there for this. Oh yeah, the other thing that I was just seeing in the campaign. So if you wanted to swap out from the 10 watt to the 20 watt, it is really a seamless process within the unit itself. This is just something that you can unscrew to adjust the leveling height, and then if you unplug the cables that power the actual laser diode, you can just pull that straight out and then swap in the 20. So plugging that in is really straightforward and simple. It's way easier than swapping out an extruder or anything like that on a 3D printer. It literally takes seconds for you to do, which is fantastic. They also have, there we go, it's the focal point positioning bar. There we go. That's some of the terminology that I need to learn. So on the laser diode itself, again, is there's like a little magnetic bar that will flap down so that you can adjust. So again, you can unscrew the laser diode piece so you can adjust it up and down. So that's at the proper distance from the object that you're trying to engrave or cut through. Which is nice. It's a really simple process. So I haven't had to get like a ruler out and measure the spacing. I know that's something that you have to do on some of the other engravers that are out there. This has just made it a really simple process to get that in place. And as we can see there, it was pretty fast. Yeah, there were some different attachments there available as well, or add-ons. So that rotary attachment, man, oh man, that's exactly what I want to be able to do here with my Yeti mug. So I definitely want to slap my logo on there, or like a saying. I don't know. We'll see. 3D printing is life. I don't know. Maybe I should say laser engraving is life. But yes, this will also work with different materials as well. So for the most part, I have just been playing around with the basswood or balsa wood, and then some of the leather scrap pieces here as well. It's trying to focus on Iron Man. It loves Iron Man back here for some reason. It thinks that's an actual person, I think, behind me. And then I did attempt to do, like I showed you guys previously, if you haven't seen already, I did a little metallic piece with Baby Yoda. I etched directly into that. So let's do another etching here while this is going on, and I'm going to again link to the giveaway in the chat. So if you want to take part in that, we're going to be giving away here in the next 20 minutes or so a few of the 20 watt units. So we have 3 20 watt units that we're going to be giving away on the live stream here. And yes, the air assist on top, which is, there's a fan here, an active fan on top of this, that's going to help. Actually, sorry, that's the that is the... I think there was a difference between the air assist and the unit above. These are all new terms for me, by the way. Oh yeah, this is on the unit itself is the filter on top. It's going to help filter up some of the smoke and anything that's coming up with that and pass it through this filtration unit on the top here. So here I can pull this out. If I needed to eventually swap this out, I can go in and swap this out. You actually see here where it's a little dirty on the inside of this, which is cool. So it's actually filtering up some of the particles that are kicking up while we're laser etching. And again, you want to make sure that anytime you're doing any laser engraving, you're working in a well-ventilated area. The reason why I'm wearing a jacket right now is I have windows open. It's cold in here. And I've got fans running. I've got a big box fan. I've got my air filter system up and running here as well. I've got the filtration system running on this. And you're going to also want to make sure that you're using protective eyewear that comes with the unit here, which is great. So that you protect your eyes from any sort of offshooting of the lasers. Even though there are acrylic panels on this that should help protect that, you definitely don't want to be looking at any of this while it's cutting. You don't want to go blind or anything crazy like that while working with this. So let's see. Let us check this out here. So I'm going to do another bit of cutting with this. Wow. Okay. Well, that was quick. Yeah, the Kickstarter campaign has now been reached. So that's good. That's good. So let us go in here and actually cut something else out. So I'm going to get some more of the wood here. And actually, let me do something a little bit fun while we're waiting here. Where is my phone? So I'm actually going to try and let's see if I can get this connected again. So there is a mobile app that you can use with this as well. Not that I don't think you can necessarily see it on the screen there, but maybe you can. Let me make sure that this is connected. Let me swing around here just to make sure I've got the correct IP address. Yes, I do. So you can do some really simple stuff with your phone as well. So I think as you saw in their Kickstarter campaign video, they have there's a little drawing space in here. So if I wanted to draw a horribly drawn smiley face and engrave that, I could totally do that if I wanted to. Or you can actually have the ability to use your camera and upload directly from this onto the object. So let's do this. I'm taking a photo that I have on my camera, and we're actually going to put this onto the engraving here. So if I wanted to add text on it, I could as well. I'm going to say next. I'm going to say next. I think the sizing is good. Let me just double check this. Hi, everyone. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to leave that as is, and let's make sure that this is all lined up. And you can actually move this over as well. Sorry, I'm repositioning the unit here so that we can etch into this. Okay. Alright, I think it's going to want to go in the corner here. I'll do this down the end. Alright, so let's let this rip down here. And then I can chat with you guys for a few minutes while this is etching everything out. So no. Let me see. So yeah, let's lower that down. So sorry, as I'm etching in and watching this. Yeah, you never want to leave a machine unattended. Man, I am not liking how that is producing from this. Let me drop the power a little bit there. Sorry, I was just thinking that it looked like it was a little too intense with the power, so I'm adjusting it on the app. One thing that's a little different is on the mobile app, I don't have the same settings. You'd think I would have synced these up, but I do not. So some of the settings that I have on the computer for the engraver are different than I have here. So. Oh, okay. So Elegoo is just messaging me that there is a way that you can use the computer and the Wi-Fi on the machine as well, which is cool. So I have not tested that out. So I'm actually going to cancel this job. So, yeah, that was going through too much. What I am going to do instead is, let's go back in here. So, what I want to do is, actually, let me see, how much time do we have left on this? So, let's see. We have our giveaway that's still up and running right now. I'm going to link over to that. So, if you haven't already, and I'm going to let this run for just a few more minutes. So, here I'm going to update the pinned comments if you haven't entered already. We do have a giveaway going on right now where you can win one of 3 of the Phecda 20-watt laser engravers that Elegoo is giving away here. So 3 lucky winners will have the chance to, we'll get one of these, which is pretty cool. So I'm working with, again, this is the 10 watt that I'm working with here, and the 20 watt is what's in the giveaway at the moment, and then we'll have another set of giveaways here in just a little bit as well, which is really, again, very, very exciting. So we have some really cool stuff lined up here for the additional giveaways towards the end that you'll definitely want to stick around for, that include a good bit more things as well, which is awesome. So hey, can you show how you adjust the focus or thickness of the materials? As I was mentioning before, there is a way on the diode itself. Sorry, I have a... There we go. My camera did not want to autofocus on me. That the machine, the diode itself, has a little lever there that will help you measure properly the distance to whatever it is that you're looking to engrave or cut. And then directly in the software, so again, I'm using Lightburn for the most part as of right now, I can set the parameters of how thick the material is, what the material is that I'm working with, and then control things like what's the wattage power of whether it's the engraving or cutting action of this particular object. So it's going to differ between the different types of materials that you're working with. So whether it's this balsa wood or the basswood or a piece of leather. One thing that I'm actually wanting to see about engraving, and again, maybe it's I don't know, is different like cosplay materials. Fabric, can I laser etch out actual fabric, which would be kind of cool, or patterns into fabric? If I can do this on leather as I'm dropping it on the ground, if I can do this on leather, then I'm assuming I could do it on other materials potentially as well, but it all needs to be tested out. One other thing is, again, make sure, I've reiterated this multiple times, anytime that you're doing any sort of laser engraving, make sure you have proper eye protection on. You don't want to be staring directly at this without any sort of eye protection. You don't want to go blind or anything like that. And make sure that we're working in a well-ventilated area. I've got a jacket on, lots of windows open here, fans running, filter system running over here. This has a built-in filter system, but you'll still want to make sure that you're working in a properly well-ventilated area. I have another room that this is going to end up in, where it's next to a window so that I can actually funnel just anything that's coming out of this directly out the window. Magnificent username guy. I believe Elegoo would need to clarify that, but I would imagine you should be able to upgrade. It would be great if Elegoo could comment on that. I would imagine you'd be able to upgrade from if you started with the 10 and wanted to, at a later date buy the 20-watt diode and add that on. Because it is just a simple swappable process, I could see that being another future purchase option from them. But Elegoo hopefully can comment here in the comments on that. Can I use the X-Tool rotary? That I don't. Thomas asking a question about another brand's rotary tool, if you could use that with this. I'm not entirely sure. Elegoo hopefully can help answer some of that here. I'm going to let this the giveaway link up for another minute or two, and then we will draw this set of winners here, which will be exciting. So, and then we'll do that giveaway here in 1 second. So, let's see here. But overall, this has been really easy, straightforward to set up and start using. I've just been playing around with a bunch of the different settings, doing a bunch of different test cuts. One thing that I just saw last night that I can't believe I didn't see beforehand, that I haven't had a chance to run through and use, is there's apparently test patterns that you can work with in different software, or you can create your own and run it at different intervals just to see, depending on the material that you're working with, which is the best. I've been manually just adjusting, etching, cutting, and seeing what looks best along the way. So it's been, again, it's a learning process, especially if this is the first time I've used one of these. And if you're going to be in the same spot, I'm happy to say it's been fairly easy to work with so far. Let's see. Let us see. Let's do this giveaway, and then I'll start doing another etching here. My son actually provided me with something cool that we can try and etch, and then I also wanted to cut out something else that I had. So let me go in here and load back up Gleam. And again, apologies if you missed the previous giveaway that I did on this. I have a way to share my screen, but it's not working correctly, so I'm going to try and tilt this way. All right, so I'll give it another minute here, and we'll pick the winners. If you haven't entered already, there is a pinned comment for the Gleam link for the second giveaway, where we are giving away 3 of the 20-watt engravers here, which is very exciting. So I'll leave this up for just another minute, and then we will do that drawing. Nick Charles, does it work with Illustrator paths? That I'm not 100% sure. It can work with vector art in the software, so if you want to export that as an SVG, that's what I've been working with. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of other formats that a lot of the I'll keep wanting to say slicers, but it's not a slicer software. I guess it's sort of like it's a toolhead path software. What's the technical term for this kind of software here? I'm not sure. The Engraver software it can work with multiple different file formats. So just some of the basics that I've been working with are SVG. I've been working with some JPEGs as well. So I brought JPEGs in, and I've converted a JPEG into line art as well, so that I could more easily etch that out versus it being a rasterized image. Let's see. This guy, don't worry. By the way, if you're not here, if you are one of the winners and you're not here, I'll be reaching out to the individual winners that have entered in, and then they have up until some date, I can't remember what the exact date is, it's listed in the giveaways, to contact Elegoo to claim their prize. And if you're by chance not in one of the countries that Elegoo can ship to, they will provide a PayPal payment to you of the amount of money for that particular item, which is kind of cool. Derek, yes, this will work with Lightburn, and that's what I had been using for most of these, because from everything that I've seen online and lots of comments on all of the posts about this from Elegoo and myself, that's sort of been the number one that people have been asking about is Lightburn. It does come with another free software that if you wanted to start with that, you could work with that, called Laser Grbl, GRBL. That you can work with. I just know that one of the big standards that a lot of people were using is Lightburn, so that's one I've been playing around with and attempting to learn, and so far it's been fairly straightforward and easy. Watched a few tutorial videos here on YouTube, and I have a lot more to learn, that's for sure. April 15th, thank you. Yes, that's you have until April, if you are a winner, you have until April 15th to contact Elegoo. Okay, Pat L, thanks for joining, man. Enjoy the family function. All right, let's do this giveaway. So let me let me try and again do this here. I'm gonna turn. Not that you guys can see. I don't think you can see that, but I want you to see that I'm actually drawing. Oh my God! Hopefully that didn't disconnect. It's like a house of cards here, people. This is just a one wrong maneuver, and this whole live stream goes entirely wrong. All right, so let's draw the winner, and the winners are all right. We have Miranda Milker, Jameson Boersma, Maximilian Spiteri. So congrats to those 3. I'll be reaching out to you all. So I'm just trying not to share their email addresses on the stream here. But yeah, congrats to you all for winning. So again, that was Miranda Milkar. I'm sure I'm butchering people's name. I can barely read, people. Jameson Bormsa, and then Maximilian Spiteri. Spiteri? Sure, we'll go with that. Congrats to you three. So let's do this. So we have. So that was this. Let me go back in here and move this back in. If you didn't already know by now, this is why I don't live stream very often, because it's just chaos, absolute chaos. Eventually, I'll get better at this if I just keep at it. Maybe have other camera angles or something like that. Yeah, congrats to everybody that won those three. We do have, again, if you didn't win, we have another giveaway coming up here in just a few minutes. So actually, what I'm going to do is get the link ready. Copy. Let's unpin this. I'm gonna go back to the let's go back to, I'm gonna pin the Kickstarter campaign here, and then I will post the new giveaway in just a few minutes. So again, if you are just tuning in, hi, how are you doing? Probably wondering why this isn't just a video, maybe, I don't know, it's live stream. We're doing a giveaway and a product launch for Elegoo. This is their new laser engraver, the Phecda. This is the 10-watt version of this laser engraver cutter here, where I'm able to cut out and work with multiple different materials on this. And in fact, let's let's get something else up and running here. So let's open this up. I'm actually going to do my badge, and then let me put these bad boys back on. Yeah, that Kickstarter did hit really, really quickly there, the goal. That's fantastic. I mean, I know there's a lot of interest in these, and there are other, options out there. So it's exciting to see Elegoo getting in here and trying to help come with their take on a laser engraver. And honestly, it's been straightforward and simple. And I'm really looking forward to making some cool signage and doing some projects with this. And my camera keeps wanting to focus on Iron Man back here, or my naked Iron Man. So hopefully this will focus. There we go. It's starting to focus back on me. So I'm gonna let's frame this up here so I can see where this is going. Let's move this in. That is almost perfect. And I'm actually this time going to make sure to properly tape this down, because I don't want to waste all this glorious wood here by cutting directly into the middle of this. So let me move in. I'm sure there is, by the way, easier ways to align your projects to the object that you're about to cut out, and I'm sure I will learn more about that as I continue to do more projects and more learning of the different softwares and options when it comes to this. So I'm just trying to get this as lined up as best as possible before I start the project. There we go. And I'm just going to throw some tape down just to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to be using, again, just some of the basswood, balsa wood. How do you pronounce these things? I don't know, people. All right, here we go. But this project is up and running. And this is going to be, again, about a 10-minute project that I am running here if my camera wants to focus on me. Here we go. So let me jump in here and read some of the chat with you guys. And actually, I might try to focus in on this. Can I get this camera over here and not lose you guys? Just trying to get you guys a different angle of this. This is where we start monkeying around with things and projects don't go quite right. So hopefully nobody goes into a little shock there. So there's where I started a project, and it was just the settings weren't right, so I stopped it. But yeah, this is where it is going going to be engraving away there. So this is the filter system there. So as it's smokes, generating from this, it's hopefully filtering it up through that here. I also have some other fans up and running in this space, and not entirely sure if you guys can hear me, so I'm going to put this back on. And let's move this back. Maybe what I should do is actually invest in like multiple cameras here. Ipeku, man. Oh, challenge coins. Man, that's a fantastic idea. I like that. I'm definitely gonna look into that. That could be fun, especially little Patreon bonuses there for people to mail out to a bunch of people. My camera is driving me crazy. It does not like that I'm wearing these glasses. It's having a hard time recognizing it's me over this other humanoid body back there. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to read some of the comments here. Engrave your laptop next. Nature, that's a cool idea. Can you do that? I mean, I guess you could. I'd engrave my Dell first before my MacBook. Or maybe I could try it out on an old MacBook. Maybe I could do the backside of it. Man, that's a really cool idea. I'd be so nervous about that. Throw a sheet on Iron Man. You know what I need to do is I need to laser etch some clothing for him, maybe. Tripod. Thank you. And oh, thank you. And a nice warm coffee afterwards. Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely be indulging in a little coffee action here. It does seem like a little DJ action. Actually, all right, so while this is cutting, I meant to, while this was cutting, get the next giveaway up and going here. So I think I have that copied here. Make sure this is the third giveaway. Let's unpin this one, post this one, and pin this one. All right, so I just pinned in the chat down below the third giveaway. So the third giveaway is going to have some really good some things here. So we have 4 different prize packages that you can win in this 4th giveaway. And hopefully I am somewhat in focus while talking here. So we have 4 different giveaways. We have the Kickstarter special number 1, which is one over on their Kickstarter. So one winner is going to get the 10-watt laser version of the Phecda, along with 5 filter cartridges. So those are the cartridges that go up in here into the top. Another winner is going to win the 20-watt version of the Phecda laser engraver, along with 5 cartridges. So that's the Kickstarter special number 2. Then we also have one winner is going to win the Kickstarter special number 3, which is the 10-watt laser version of the Phecda, the 5 filter cartridges, plus a rotary attachment, plus the honeycomb panel down below. So that if you wanted to cut out things, you don't have to worry about etching into your tabletop surfaces there. Have a little bit more of a better experience. And then finally, we have one additional winner is going to win the Phecda 20-watt version with the 5 filters, the rotary attachment, and the honeycomb panel. This is a really cool multi-giveaway option here for 4 different winners that we're very excited to be giving out. Thank you, Elegoo, again for not only sponsoring this live stream, but also providing a whole bunch of different giveaway prizes that we are sharing out with people here. This is just a really fun one. And again, this is like a 10-minute job that has 5 minutes left. It's at 55%, and it's just going to town on this, etching out another variation of one of my logo files here. You'd think I'd like, go something a little bit more extreme, but no. Let's just let's keep it Uncle Jesse related here. Yes, Jamie. Jamie, hi. Just saw your message there. Yes, safety when working with laser engravers is absolutely critical. There is acrylic panels on here to help try and protect from some of the laser offshoots that are happening there, and there is a little bit of an air filtration system that Elegoo has built into the top to help mitigate with some of the fumes that are coming off to whatever you're engraving or cutting out. However, you definitely want to make sure you're wearing these fancy spectacles. When I did not have cataract surgery. I don't want to have it from the laser engraver. So the glasses come with the units themselves, so you want to make sure you're wearing something like this or these or other variations to make sure you're protecting your eyes. I am also wearing a jacket in here because it's extremely cold. I have windows open to help with the ventilation. I have fans up and going here. I have an air filtration system up and running as well, along with this filtration unit that's on the unit. This is also not going to be the final location for this engraver in my studio. This is sort of the main space here. I have another set-off room that I want to set this up on, which has a table that will be placed directly under a window so that I can help just directly vent out anything that's coming off of this. It's not exactly the best place for you to be standing in an enclosed space with one of these machines. You definitely want to have lots of well-ventilated breathing air when working with one of these. Oh yeah, the panels seem too high for safety. Yes, I should mention, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, there are extension legs that the machine comes with. So my machine, I have the double legs on there just so that I have a little bit more space for visibility for you guys, as well as just being able to get the mesh bed under there. So you can just work with the standard the shorter version, so it'll be closer to the actual tabletop with this as well. So that's completely configured depending on what you're trying to work with and the materials and all that other good stuff. And yes, it is compatible with Lightburn. I've mentioned that throughout this, that's the software that I'm using right now to actually use this. However, it does come with a free software that you can use called Laser Gerbil. I don't know if it's Gerbil, G-R-B-L. It's probably something else, but that's what you can work with it. And there is also a mobile app that will work with this as well. So if you wanted to take like a picture directly from your phone library and bring it directly in here and start etching it on that, you can work with that directly from your phone in the mobile app as well. Does the laser have crosshair to help with the alignment? Brian, yes. And in fact, I was playing around with a bunch of the settings in Lightburn so that I can adjust the wattage so it's like super, super low. So it's not going to actually affect the object that I'm etching into at the time. And I can enable that when I'm doing some of the framing functions so I can see how it's aligning on the object that I'm trying to engrave. I'm still learning the software. I'm sure there are much easier ways to go about some of this stuff, and it's just part of the learning process that I need to follow up on, that I'll be learning more about and sharing with you all. By the way, if you are watching this and are in the live stream and for whatever reason want to see a full-on video of this, I'll have a video up in the next few days just going in detail on this laser with more angles and video footage, like a normal YouTube video, not the live stream stuff here. Cut longer shields for the guards. Yeah, actually, that's funny enough that you mentioned that. I was wondering about that as well. So these front acrylic panels, if I'm going to be using the taller legs, I might end up looking into just etching out those to make it a little bit longer for the shielding on the front, which is nice. Ashley wants to know if you can cut thin MDF, and I believe it depends on how thick of the MDF it is. I'm trying to remember. I was trying to see where it was on their system. There's an engraving depth of 8 millimeters on the 10 watt and 14 millimeters on the 20 watt, which is the Pro. Oh, and there we go. So this just finished. Is the laser power enough to cut through Captain America's shield? This one back here, no. That's it could probably etch into it. So let's get the tape up. Man, look at that. It just came. It's so clean. Man, it's awesome. Let me, I'm going to move up closer so you guys can see this. But yeah, here's what was just etched and came off. So I've got the settings fairly well dialed in for this. I've got a little bit of maybe just a little hot there on the top, so I could probably dial that in just ever so slightly. But the cutout was just super clean and didn't really scorch at all, which is awesome. So let's see here. I'll also show. Sorry, I showed this in the beginning, but I'll come back up and show it to you guys now, which is just on different materials as well. So let me show you. I'll show you guys this. Sorry. So obviously here was the. So etching on the different woods here. So this is just that thin wood that you can get from most craft stores. And then Elegoo also provides a little scrap, a little piece of leather for you to practice on. So I did a subscribe. Oh my gosh, it won't focus. There we go. Onto this small piece of leather, and this was like a 1 minute job on this. Very, very clean. What did take a little bit longer is etching into metal. So I did a Baby Yoda onto this little locket or like a dog tag type thing here, which is pretty cool. Ooh. Trying to get it to focus on that. And this was, I think, like a 15-minute job. So a little bit longer when etching into metal, I believe. But there we go. So, also, I wanted to mention. So, I'm using one of the mesh bottoms here. Another option that I saw people were using was just a thicker piece of MDF. That if you wanted to put your object on top of this and then etch into this, it'll help protect whatever surface that you're working on. Obviously, you could be etching into that MDF, but it's, you're not looking to do projects with that. How was the smell when I did the leather? I didn't notice it, to be honest, with the leather. I definitely noticed the wood here. I mean, it smells like I'm like cutting into wood. I don't know how to quite describe it. It has like a wood burn smell that's there. Yeah, the rotary attachment, I'm not sure. I don't have the rotary attachment yet. I will hopefully be able to show that off soon, because I definitely want to do engraving into mugs here. This is something that I'm like would be really cool. I've seen people get different patterns and sketches put on here, or like my kids' water bottles for schools. They have metal water bottles. So I could like actually metal etch their name into that, which would be cool. Or if they had artwork, I could take that onto the phone app and then transfer that onto here and have it etched into the to the coffee cup. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is just a cheap piece of plywood that this is like, I think like a 1/2 inch thick. It's not going to cut through this. So again, I'm not using this as a material that I'm etching. I mean, you could technically etch into it, but I don't think you could cut through this. But this is what I was using as just an underpiece. So if I was you know, doing some of the carving, it wasn't going directly into my table. You don't want to be laser engraving through whatever the object is onto, you know, your tabletop surface. So this was just a material that I was using initially there with this instead of the grid. By the way, there is the live stream. Excuse me, the live stream. The giveaway link is pinned in the comments. If you haven't entered already, check out that giveaway. We have 4 different giveaways that Elegoo is sponsoring here for their Phecda laser engravers. So 4 different package options that you could potentially win that relate to their actual Kickstarter campaign. And 2 of those are like the crazy ones. That's the all-in packages there. So there's a 10-watt version and a 20-watt version. So 4 in total giveaways left here on the live stream. Yeah, can you get a better look? This isn't the grid that I'm using isn't the one that Elegoo has. This is one that I picked up myself. I'll definitely be showing off the one from Elegoo once that's available and in my hands. This is just one that I picked up online. So I wanted something here that I wasn't going directly into my tabletop, even though my tabletop is covered in dings and cured resin and all sorts of other, like silicone from making molds and whatnot. Actually, that could be kind of fun to see how I can laser etch into some mold making projects. Yeah, and keep in mind the entries, there are multiple ways you can enter in. So each entrant has the ability to get multiple entry spots, I guess you could say, for the giveaway, which is fun. And if you haven't already, definitely check out Elegoo, the Kickstarter campaign, for all of the details. This is, again, my first... my camera loves... Oh, there we go. This is my first like foray into working with the laser engraver, so it's been a fun learning experience for me. I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but this is what you would potentially receive in the mail. It's a pretty decent size, smallish, easy to carry. This thing isn't too heavy. Box, and the assembly process, I think for me, was around 30 minutes, but it was because I was recording and moving cameras around. I would imagine about 15, 20 minutes, maybe at most, to assemble this. It's a fairly straightforward process for the assembly of the unit. It's about as on par with assembling some of the 3D printers, maybe the Neptune 2S, where you just have to assemble a few, connect a few panels, insert the screws, tighten them down. There's a belt that you need to loop through and get attached, and then you got to connect some wires on here. It was a really straightforward and simple process. There is an instruction manual, a detailed instruction manual that Elegoo's already created for this that I followed and was able to follow along and get this thing up and running pretty quickly here. And then, again, just reiterating, one of the big questions that comes up is, does this support light burn? And yes, it does, and that's what I've been working with. I'm actually gonna, let's see. Oh, thanks, man. Chrissy 75. Yeah, I'm already enjoying, like, it's fun just trying something new, but at the same time, I've known I want to be able to do something like this. And actually, I have a buddy of mine that is like crazy excited that I'm learning how to use this, because that's what he wants to do, laser etching, like you know, wood boards and whatnot. And there's so many ideas that I have. And actually, I was in one of the, what was it, like Joann Fabrics that I was in just the other day, looking at different materials, and I was like, oh, could I laser etch on this? What about this? So it's going to be a lot of fun playing around and seeing what we can do with this. And I'll definitely be doing more video projects with this in the future. I like different setups. I like making different grounds and setups and backgrounds for some of the figurines and statues that I have, or things that I've 3D printed, is going to definitely be something that I'm looking forward to doing with the unit here, especially some of the nameplates or panels. So when I actually go off and print, you know, like a God of War bust, I could actually have a nameplate that goes with this. Not that I don't know what it is, but maybe when I had people stop by, they want to know what that was, I could actually make a nameplate with it. Or if I wanted to actually sell some of those things, I could actually make and sell some of those. Yeah, can you share the Kickstarter? Yes. Sorry, it was linked down below. I know I've got the giveaway going right now. Here is a link to the Kickstarter campaign. So there was that. Fun-filled, as usual. And hopefully the live stream, the quality here, as I'm seeing on my screen, just is not great. So apologies to that. I'll definitely be looking into how I can make the production quality of these live streams a little bit better. But I'm going to let this run, this giveaway, for just another few minutes, and then we will do the drawing of this. So make sure, if you haven't already, there is a pinned comment where you can get access to this giveaway. This is the final giveaway that we're going to be doing in the live stream, and again has a 4 different giveaway options for the Kickstarter campaign entries for the Phecda laser engraver. Yes, so there's what you're hearing is there is the air assist on top there that's going to help filter up some of the air. There's also 2 fans side mounted off to the diode that is helping direct some of the fumes that are producing over towards the excavator, or whatever you want to call that there, the extractor there for the air. I should stop pushing this as well. We definitely want to do that fast. I don't want to short out the motherboard or anything like that. Terras, I offhand don't know. Elegoo will definitely be able to answer more information on safety questions and information about the units themselves. Again, this is my first one of these units type of machines. I'm trying to be as properly, safely using this as properly as possible, I should say. But definitely check with them. They're going to have more information on that. I will definitely be doing more research on this to learn more as I'm working with it and trying to get a better setup going here to be able to run this. And again, I'll be working this in a different room next to a window that I can have an exhaust system help funneling out any of the fumes that come directly off of this. 3DHP, thanks, man. Nowhere near as good as your statues that you're printing and painting that I see over on the Facebooks. So let's let this. I'm gonna let this run, the giveaway run, for another 2 minutes here, and then we will draw those last winners and wrap things up. I will post the Kickstarter link again here. If you haven't already seen the Kickstarter link, you can find that directly there. I've just posted that again, but it's already funded, which is exciting, and apparently lots of people are interested in backing one of these, which is really cool. Again, very straightforward and been pretty easy for me to use. I am working on learning Lightburn and the ins and outs of that software, which is fun. Just, you know, being able to get in there and define some of the parameters and mess around with those settings as I'm working with the objects is really cool. One thing that I'm going to be doing next here is this weekend, I've mentioned it before, I found there are some test patterns that I can run through, and depending on the materials that I'm working with, try a variety of settings using those test patterns to see exactly what sort of setting I'd like to work with and dial that in. So I think so far everything that I've more or less cut through on this basic basswood has turned out fairly well, nice and clean and fairly quick. But lots to learn, and definitely you'll be seeing more from me on this. I have a video that I'm working on, full-on YouTube video going in detail, getting you better looks and angles and shots at this, and more close-ups of some of the things that I've edged out and cut out here, which will be fun. And again, this is the 10-watt version that I'm playing around with currently. As soon as I have my hands on the 20-watt version, I'll definitely be sharing that as well and seeing what sort of comparison differences we can see between, you know, thicknesses of materials that we can cut out, that sort of thing. Definitely have some fun signage that I want to watch for this. Alan, thanks. Yeah, I might have watched one of those basic light burn videos. I got a few under my belt here where I've got the basic mechanics of how to use the software, where I now know how to set the different object colors, and then is it a fill or is it a line, and then I can set the material and I can adjust the wattages. I think that's like the basics of this. What I'm trying to figure out now is the framing and positioning and how to more accurately position those so that I'm not maneuvering my objects around on the you know, in the build area. But that's or making sure that they're properly aligned. All right, so let's do Nick Smiggy. Yeah, this is everything that I'm working with is the 10-watt version. So let's do this giveaway. If you haven't already, give you another minute to go in there and join the giveaway. We have Elegoo is providing with this launch of the Phecda Laser Engraver. They have 4 winners here are going to be chosen at random, and we have the 10-watt version with 5 filter cartridges as one. There's the Phecda with a 20-watt laser and 5 filter cartridges is another winner, is going to get one of those. Then we have as a third option the Kickstarter special number 3, which is the 10-watt, the 5 filters with the rotary attachment and the honeycomb panel base here, which is awesome. And then a fourth is going to be the 20-watt version with those 5 filters with the rotary with the honeycomb base. So very cool. All right, let's get this drawing underway here. So let me, again, I'm going to try and turn my computer screen. I can't get the screen sharing quite right. Let me see if is it. Drawing. All right. So we have for the let me see. All right, for the special number 1, which is the 10-watt version. Sorry, I'm just trying to cover up their email addresses. For the 10-watt with the 5 filter cartridges is Trevor Mackin. Congrats. For the, let's see, this is the special number 2, the 20-watt with the 5 filter cartridges is John Dupras. Congrats. And then we have the giveaway number 3 for the Kickstarter special number 3, which is the 10-watt, 5 cartridge, rotary attachment, and the honeycomb is Radic. So congrats to Radic. I like that name, Radic. And then the final one, which is the 20-watt version with the 5 cartridges and the rotary attachment and the honeycomb panel, is Marcos Redondo. Marcos, congrats. If I don't butcher everyone's name when going through this, then my job is not complete. But that is all of the winners of the 4 there. I will be reaching out to all of the winners from the contest giveaways today. You have until April 15th to get a hold of Elegoo. There's going to be an email that'll provide you with that, or you can reach out to them to claim your prize. Let me kill the fan right here so you can hear me a little bit better. What we're going to do is you'll be able to they'll send you the machine if for whatever reason they're not in the zones or countries that they can ship to. They will provide you with a payment option for your PayPal, which is pretty cool. But I wanted to say a huge thank you to Elegoo for sponsoring this live stream. I will be pinning here the Kickstarter campaign again. If for whatever reason, if you somehow missed that, I will be pinning that here in this chat up top here. So I've got that replaced. But congrats to all the winners. Congrats to everyone that backed one of these machines. You'll still have some time here to, dig in, answer questions. I'll be posting a video here again on the upcoming days on this unit and doing some more in-depth, detailed looks at some of the things that I've engraved and my overall experience with it. Again, thank you again to Elegoo for sponsoring this, and congrats on the Kickstarter go live for the new laser engraver, the Phecda. And I hopefully am saying that correctly. Hey, thanks so much for watching, you all. Thanks for joining the live stream. We'll be doing this again here soon. Hey, I'll see you next time. Bye now. Well, actually, hold on. I can't just... I gotta go into the live stream. Hold on, I gotta figure out. Okay, I can stop streaming. I think